Husband doesn't believe we are broke. My husband doesn't believe me when I say we have no money. My current job doesn't pay great, but I work from home and maintain the house. We make roughly the same. Our bills are just too much. We have too many credit cards. And he doesn't realize the amount that is put on each month, not including the interest. It's $15 here, $20 there, $60 for a video game, and then $150 in food for us and our toddler. He wants a hobby slash toy each week, claiming it's just $25. Why does he sound like a kid? Like, are you married to like a grown adult, or are you like married to a kid? Or like, oh, I need a hobby and a toy. What can I do at this point? I'm pinching dimes and nickels from him, so it looks like I'm depriving him of life, but we can't afford it. Edit. We make about $90,000 a year and live in California. Our mortgage is. Oh, God. That is so expensive. That is such a huge mortgage. Okay, so our mortgage is $4,600. You only make 90K. What are you doing spending $4,600 for a mortgage? $1,200 in daycare a month. Why are you paying daycare if you work at home? And after paying bills, we have $300 left, not including the amount put on credit cards. We owe like $35,000 in credit cards. Oh my god, they are doing so bad financially. Holy crap. One, your husband needs to grow up, straight up, right? But like, let's actually like break this down, right? So, $4,600 a month times 12, they're spending $55,200 per month on just the mortgage. That is more than half of their income. Okay? So, hold on. That is 61.3% of their income. That's insane. Especially since you're living in like basically one of the highest tax states in the United States. Like, this is dumb. Like, this is like financially stupid. So that's an issue. Plus, they're spending $1,200 a month in daycare, which literally makes no sense when you stay at home, right? So, 1,200 per month times 12, that's $14,400. Okay, plus the $55,200. So get this, right? So they're spending $69,600 on just those two things. Okay? Just the mortgage and just the daycare, they're spending $69,600. Okay? That's not even paying any bills or anything like that, right? So that divided by their yearly income, right? That means like they're spending 77.33 to the infinity percent on just mortgage and daycare. One, daycare should not even be an expense right now if you live at home. Two, your mortgage is beyond dumb. Like, this is beyond dumb. Because this is probably also like a 30-year mortgage. Like, you cannot afford to live in this home. You are 100% house poor. Like, this is a bad thing to do. Like the general rule of thumb in terms of like how much should you spend for housing is like about anywhere between the 20% to 30% range of your monthly take home. Like this is disgusting, right? You basically leave yourself pretty much no room for mistakes, which they make a lot of mistakes due to the crazy amount of money that they have on their credit card. Like, this is insane. Because again, we haven't even included utility bills, we haven't included groceries, we haven't included health insurance, we haven't included gas bills for a car, we haven't included car payments because they probably got car payments, car insurance. Like, we haven't even factored all these other expenses, right? We've literally only done the mortgage and daycare, okay? That's crazy. And by the way, they say that they got $300 left. I doubt that. I highly doubt that they even have $300 left. I think they're going in the red every single month because they have $35,000 on a credit card or on credit cards. Like, this is such a bad situation. The reality is they need to stop the daycare. Two, they need to sell their home, hopefully not lose a whole bunch of money, which if they own their home for like a couple of years, they shouldn't. And your husband needs to grow up. Like, period. Like, you guys are doing so bad financially. Like, this type of situation is so scary because you are basically drowning in bills. Like, you're drowning in bills. There's like hardly any room to breathe, and there probably isn't any room to breathe. Like, this is such a scary thing. But like, they can't live where they're living. Like, it's just too expensive. Crazy. Let's see some of these comments. Like, to me, I would sell the home. I would get rid of child support. Well, no, not child support. Daycare. Like, I'd like rent something super cheap or try to find something super cheap because even like half of what they're paying on their mortgage is a huge win for them in terms of like freeing up cash flow. Like, I'll just pay like the bare minimums on everything until I get out of that home. Let's see some of these comments. Your mortgage is way too high for 90K, like absurdly high. Agreed. I agreed. Like, this is so bad. So doing the math, if you guys have no deductions, you are taking home at most 5.6 thousand a month. Mortgage is 4.6 thousand. Daycare is 1,200. You guys start off every month in the negative. There's no way he will still be in denial. If you just show him the simple math, you guys can't even afford to pay the necessities, nonetheless have money for a hobby. Like, agreed. Like, also to me, right? One, this house in like California where you're spending $4.6 thousand per month on is probably a cardboard box, to be frank, right? I mean, it's California. So like, and also like this amount of money is disgusting to me to spend per month when you're only making 90K. But also just in general, spending $4.6 thousand a month on a mortgage just sounds horrible. Let's see. Agreed op is 90K your take home after taxes. That would be more reasonable, but still very high for your salary. Let's see. No comments. 35K in credit card debt means you're more than broke. You have negative money. Exactly. The mortgage payment is crazy relative to your income. You are worse than broke. You're falling further behind each month. You have to change now, or you're going to eventually lose the house. Agreed. Your mortgage is not just the mortgage, but the mortgage is a huge problem. You simply cannot afford a mortgage of that size on a household income of 90K, especially when you have tons of credit card debt. Tell them either wake up or you're done. The house needs to be sold. You need to use the proceeds to pay off your debt and rent something significantly cheaper. I know you're in Cali, but that mortgage is an absurd percentage of your take home. It's not sustainable without an increase in income. 90K for $4,600, or are you saying 90K each, which is still too high. How did you even get qualified? Yeah, so pretty much everyone is thinking what I'm thinking. Is like this house is just insane. So this person says $4,600 mortgage is like a $700,000 to $1 million house depending on what your interest rate is. How did you qualify for that mortgage on a combined 90K salary? Something ain't right. The thing is, like, I think it's probably not too hard necessarily to get a mortgage for a home, like especially in like California, because pretty much every single home is like $1 million. I think technically the average cost for a home in California is like $700,000 or something like that. Like that's the average price, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So it's probably pretty common for lenders out there to like do like something that's about like a 50% of their income or take home, or like 60%. That probably isn't too out of norm for them over there. But it is so dumb to approve someone in this situation. $4,600 for your mortgage. Holy S balls. Also, your credit card debt is DEFCON 1. That is insane high interest debt. You should be buying zero video games or fun S with that credit card. Sorry. He needs to understand your finances so you can both get out of this very dangerous situation. Huh. So finally, this person actually responded. Let's see. I guess they tried to show the hubby the statements, but he just blocks it out. I could place a block on the credit cards. I'm afraid we'd end up with overdraft fees. Uh, Now you can pretty much like if you're able to prevent usage of the credit cards, you might have to do that. The only thing is this guy might be willing to do pretty much anything to get his hands on like his hobbies or whatever. So who knows? Who knows what the guy's going to be willing to do? Okay, interesting. So apparently the husband is like just gets upset and says, "I get it. Okay, leave me alone." This is like a situation where maybe you need to get into like some sort of relationship counseling. And if you don't have a kid with this individual, you might really want to think about. I mean, this is sad to say. You might really want to get like thinking to like get a divorce. Now, that being said, I obviously know that just remembering what I read in the post that they do have kids, so that is going to be kind of like an issue. But the thing is, sometimes it is not better to stay in a marriage if the other person is literally not willing to contribute at all. Because then there would literally be no difference between you with them or without them. Interesting. Okay, I don't really see anything else, but this is pretty insane though. Honestly, I'm not even disappointed at like the situation or what they did. I'm just like worried that this relationship is basically going to implode because this is such a horrendous situation. Because you have two people that are not aligned financially speaking as to like what they want to do in terms of their financial goals. You got a guy who is supposed to be technically like the head of the household, technically in like old fashioned times, right? And the guy just wants to have hobbies and like shun everything or just like not be willing to like deal with stuff. It's like the reality is like she could just divorce him right here and now. He's going to have to pay child support probably because they make about I guess the same. Like he's not in a good situation. Like the husband is not in a good situation, and like you would think that he would try, like at the bare minimum, try to improve the financial situation that him and his wife are in. But like the guy's not even like bothering to put in like any effort. Like he's not even willing to acknowledge that they have a problem. Like to me, like that mortgage amount will like make me feel like I'm like getting slowly dragged into like the deep end of the ocean, right? Or maybe the deep end of like a pool with like a chain tied to my like ankle. He's just like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm slowly gonna drown. I'm okay today. I'm okay next week. Wait. I'm just now dead. Like, like this can really only end one way, and that is you basically being homeless because you got nothing to your name. You can't afford bills. If something were to happen to your job, you are completely effed. Like this is a horrible, horrible